Well. Now we got the roof all figured out and nice and smooth and back up to par as far as wrap goes. It's ready when we're ready for wrap, so that's a good news. So, time to move on to some other problem spots that I've discovered after peeling the wrap. This is where the area kind of flaked apart. I don't know if it was the bodywork or, the body filler cracking over the years and finally just coming up. Got a couple other spots here. This is me already sanding it with 80 grit, trying to kind of break it down a little bit and trying to see, just trying to expose, the problem area really. So it's kind of like feathered out a little bit. You can see the layers. But this for sure is going to be body filler. Pretty dang sure. After all I've been through, I'm pretty sure I can determine that is body filler there. So this is where I did some other Bondo work originally when I wrapped the car. I had a little mishap with my Harley. Tipped it over right into the car. Helmet dented up here and my body impacted down here. So I ghetto-ly replaced it, repaired it. You can kind of see where I used some Bondo here. So ideally, I kind of want to maybe make this better. After doing the research and knowing a little bit now, I might want to try to attempt to make this area more flat, just so it doesn't look like a crushed can once it's wrapped. Certain angles you can totally tell. So yeah, I'm going to try to make this area look a little better. Maybe even revisit this dent as well. Difficult to see, but yeah, it's there. As of right now, I feel like fixing all these, but who knows, it may be different tomorrow. So I'm going to try to jump on it right now when I have the time and motivation. We're going to hopefully get this area looking better. We're going to start sanding it down with some 80 grit sandpaper. Kind of expose the area, see if that's bare metal there below there, or is that going to be body filler. So you guys know the drill. Just no secret really. We know what we need to do, so we're going to get it done. Okay, we've hit bare metal. It's good. Shows me there really isn't any body filler in this area. Looks like it goes straight to the primer. Kind of feather it out a little bit. Don't make it so abrupt. Okay, liking that. Clearly a low spot there. But that's really all we're doing. We're just exposing the metal underneath it. Trying to figure out what else is hiding under here. Oh boy, what have I done? What have I done? I have exposed some more damage. This is actually where I messed with it the last time I did any type of body work. This would be good old Bondo right here under this area. Again, this is the damaged area that my bike and I fell into one morning and just kind of kablamoed right here, and now we're left with this beautiful battle scar here. So the Bondo's kind of holding up pretty well. There are a lot of high spots though. As I was sanding, I did a little guide coat. I obviously knew where the high spots were because those were the bare metal areas like immediately. But I just decided to spray a little bit of guide coat, kind of experiment a little bit. And that's what you saw in the time lapse there. So I just pretty much used 180 grit and got all the guide coat off. I've established where my high spots are. I really should probably invest in an actual hammer and dolly, where you can tap down high spots and really get into the auto body swing of things, you know what I'm saying? But I figured I'd just give it a shot with the hammers that I do have. You can kind of see where I was tapping down the high spots or attempting to. I'm not really sure if I did anything with those style hammers. So I'd be curious to kind of get my own little set of, bodywork tools, you would say. So maybe that would be, beneficial for me. So like I said, we're just working our way around the car, finding out more imperfections and just kind of going all in. Since I don't even have the wrap material or have decided on a color, I'm gonna just do this in the meantime. So I'm just gonna have fun and enjoy the experience. And yeah, hopefully I can get this thing looking better. We shall see. Well, as you guys just saw, I believe there is a change of plans for this bodywork here. I decided to just get rid of all the Bondo I did, a couple years back, and I'm just gonna start from scratch and try to pop the dents out. Got a new hammer and dolly set I want to show you guys. Little cheap Amazon thing. Hopefully it works out. but we're gonna try to approach this in the best way possible, and I believe I can make it look a lot better than it does now. So let's see what we can do. I mean, I can't make it any worse, right? Good God, you gotta love this hairdo, huh? People pay good money for this hairdo. I thought these two spots over here were high, but really this was the low spot. This is where the dent is. So I was tapping it with the hammer in the wrong areas, it turns out. So yeah, we're gonna approach this in a better mindset, you know, try and think it through. The cool thing is I can get behind this part of the quarter panel here. That way I can put my dolly on the back side of it, give it some wax with the hammer. Again, we're just all learning I'm learning as I'm going here, and everyone's part of the same experience, I guess. So yeah, I got everything nice and sanded off with 60 grit. Try to get it nice and flat. The less Bondo, the less body filler, the better. So yeah, I'm just some type of big auto body guy now, I guess. Trying my luck at it, so we'll see how it all turns out. So I was able to access the back side of the quarter panel. Just kind of took out a couple clips, peeled back the little cover and the carpet. And you can actually get back behind and kind of see where that carnage is going on. That would be my body impact there, and then my helmet impact somewhere up there. So yeah, at least you can clearly see what's going on and what needs to be fixed. It's nice to have access to this area. That should make it a little better. Why is it not focused, brother? Sure, let's get it done. Here's a quick look at the hammer and dolly set that I got. Auto body repair kit. Item number, everything. I'll link it down below if you guys want to pick one of these up. So yeah, it basically has the essentials. Oh my gosh. Looks like I got to do some regulating in there. I'll be back. Go put my foot down in there. Alright, where was I? Everything's all nice and quiet here on the home front. So here we go. This is what we have. An assortment of hammers. Again, I don't know how to use any of this stuff, but I think I can figure it out. I got these. These are called dollies, apparently. Depending on the contour you're trying to straighten or whatever else. Claw looking thing. I mean, it's not a bad deal. I mean, I believe this kit was maybe 40 bucks, 35 to 40 bucks. And yeah, it doesn't look too cheap. An assortment of hammers and a bunch of metal. So, and that's that. Add to my arsenal of auto body tools. Well, I guess it's time to figure out how to use this kit. Basically, I think I'm going to need maybe something flat like this, get behind the quarter panel, and get a pretty flat end there. I'm just going to kind of experiment and see what works best. This one's a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll use this one. It's got a little contour on there. Like I said, you're never going to learn if you don't try. So here we are. I'm going to try it out right here, right now. So we're going to attempt to get behind it and give it a bang and try to make some contact here. I don't really know which one's best to use. Maybe I'll try this flat one first just because it's a pretty flat area, or it should be flat area. Here goes nothing. And you should be able to kind of hear when it makes contact directly. See that? I have the dolly away. Put the dolly on. So I gotta push it out. I don't want to hammer it in. I'm gonna have to do some more research on this. I'm gonna try to give you guys a better look at this dent. Hopefully I can give you some perspective using a straight edge here. Maybe like 1/8 of an inch of a gap. So it's not like a super crazy dent. And I guess the trick is to put your dolly on the inside and press out against the dent. And then you're gonna wanna tap down the high spot. And I guess in turn, it will start to raise the low spot. So that's just with the little bit of research that I've done. So we're gonna try to put it to the test right now and see if we can get the hang of this or not. But yeah, I'm just kind of going in, not really knowing what the heck I'm doing. Like I said, you're not gonna learn if you don't try. And I at least have some type of knowledge base off of the internet. So I'm not completely lost, I would say. But we'll give it a shot and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna put, oh, just dropped it. Everything's under control. Now, this dolly might be a little bit too big to fit exactly there. It's a little bit too big, too bulky there. Maybe I could slide this guy in there. See where it kind of protrudes out when you put the pressure on it. Whew, this is gonna be tough. But we're not giving up yet. I just gotta find that right spot to put it. Well, I'm deciding to use a little bit of guide coat here to really show the big low dent here. Just gonna sand it down with some 180. Only takes a couple minutes for this stuff to dry. Low, low, low. I guess maybe those are those from hammer hits right there? Little polka dots or something? I guess no, those are little low spots. I don't know, we're learning out here. I'm just gonna continue to try to get these dents popped out a little bit and hopefully get rid of that guide coat evenly, so that'll tell me that I'm getting somewhere. So here we go. Man, I knew this wasn't going to be easy by any means. You can see all the damage that I've done so far. It's just a lot more difficult than I thought in order to get into this area behind the quarter panel. These dollies are a little too bulky and I can't really get it to the area that I need it, especially towards this back area. We're still trying to attempt this. It's not going very well, that's for sure. But you can kind of see how I already brought it up. The dark spots are your low spots. So I want to see a consistent bare metal as I sand it. So as it starts to raise up, hopefully it'll start to level out and get rid of the dents. I don't think the high spots are that big of a deal because I can tap them back down with the hammer. At least that's what I've seen on the internet. So we're gonna try that for ourselves as well. Bodywork takes a lot of time, that's for sure. So we're out here learning tonight. So it's really like a guessing game. I think I'm getting closer. Definitely feels rough. Like there's no perfect dent pop out method so far. Takes a lot of time and a lot of skill. I don't expect to, learn this overnight. I'm not really taking it too hard on myself because this stuff is difficult. Especially for this dent being in this area. It's probably not the best scenario to learn how to do this. So I think it's 10 times harder right now just because of the complexity of this dent and on the body lines, and it's just not the best scenario for a beginner in my opinion. But we're going to do our best to try to get this out. And if we can't get it all the way out, we're just going to cover it with Bondo and sand it smooth and hopefully make it look a lot better. I'm definitely going to keep fighting it if I try to, hit it out anymore with the hammer and dolly. There's just no real easy way to do this. So I might just be stuck with what I got and just fill the rest in with some body filler. So that is the latest decision. I kind of got some, obviously, pushed out a little bit, but it would have been nice to get a little bit more. At times I feel like I'm just making it worse, to be honest. And I probably am. And that's okay. It's my first time. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm sure it takes, many, many years to get this down. I'm not going to beat myself over the head over it just because I can't, get the technique in one night. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it. All right, just like that, it is the next day. Everything's nice and cured. We're gonna get to sanding down the Bondo and hopefully we get some good results. Hopefully we can get this body line back in order. And yeah, we'll probably be touching it up with some glazing putty. But here we go again, just like the roof. We're gonna do the same process on a smaller scale. So let's get to sanding this off with 60 grit. Typically, people would use some type of maybe 40, 36 grit, something like that, to get the rough shape that you're looking for. But I don't think it's gonna take much to get this sanded down pretty good. So I'm just gonna start with 60 and then move to 80 and then to 180. Let's hit that time lapse and get to work. Well, as you guys saw on the time lapse, half the time lapse didn't work, so it kind of started out, with me halfway done sanding it down. But see the mess down there? You can kind of see where it filled in the low spots here. So these are definitely, are they low or are they high? I don't know at this point. I mean, it feels like a lump coming up there, a lump coming up here. Must be a lump coming up there because all this here is filled in. And same with this bare metal here. There's a lump coming up there. So are those just high spots I need to kind of tap down? If that's the case, I'll just have to tap them down and then fill the rest with body filler and at least have some type of uniform line here without any ups and downs. So trying to debate what I need to do. How do I tap down the high spots without making more damage around the areas that are still good? So that's my dilemma at the moment. Gotta cut into some bare metal up top. Nothing that I can't fix, I guess, at this point. So yeah, we're kind of stuck in a pickle. We gotta figure this out. Well, back to square one again. I got a little bit of Bondo left here after sanding it. So I kind of hit down some of the high spots here. That way I'm just gonna fill it in with more body filler. So we're gonna go for the second round of body filler right now. Gloves on, start whipping up some more Bondo. Get another layer on there. Tend to overwork the Bondo. I have a nice smooth run going, and then I'll just like do one more just to say like, okay, this is my last one, and then I'll make a big old gouge in it and then have to try to fix it, and then it starts to set up, and then it just kind of like, you know, it doesn't really work out for you. That's kind of where I was tonight. I just didn't know when to stop. I had it good, nice and flat, nice and smooth. But then I just had to do one more, and then that would be the one that would screw it up. I would have like a piece of debris in there or something. So we're gonna let this set up for about 15 minutes, and we're gonna try to sand it tonight. Hopefully it won't be as rock hard. I can kind of shape it and see where our low spots are. We're gonna see, we're gonna wait it out, and we're gonna do some more work tonight. So stay tuned for more. Here's a closer look at my little quick slap on there. It's not pretty. I kind of tried to feather the edge over here. That's why we got a high little mound area. I just want it to be better than what it was, so that's my ultimate goal here. Make it look better than when I started, or else all this was a big waste of time. I think it's set up enough where I can start shaping it, hopefully get rid of some of this ugliness here. So let's hit that time lapse, get her done. Alright, well surprisingly we have some results here. Definitely not done, but it's looking a lot better compared to the first time that I sanded. Couple little high spots. So we have a little bit of low spot here, and a little dip here. Got a little bit of cracking going on as well, so I'm gonna hit that with the 60 or 80 grit, just in those certain areas, and then I'm gonna hit it with the glazing putty. Yeah, it's coming together, all this time and effort. It's finally paying off. Again, I don't wanna speak too soon. I can screw this up at any given moment, so gotta finish strong, baby. Continue on and finish strong. Before we add the glazing putty, I just kinda scuff it up with like 80. Just to give it something to stick to. I'm just gonna try to fill in every little imperfection. Little here, little there, so yeah, we're gonna hit it with the glazing putty. Little wax and grease remover, that is. By now, I'm sure you guys are getting the gist of what the process is. It's a lot of work. It gets a little easier as you go and learn more. Just like anything. It becomes a lot more fun with more practice, so. All right, let's get it. Alright, well, got the glazing putty kind of slapped on there. This stuff sets up like super quick. Yeah, it's not looking too good, is it? I think I was supposed to do a thinner layer. It's best to do thin layers, not thick layers. But yeah, I'm no expert, as you guys have already figured that out. Anyways, yep, we're letting it set up, maybe about 15 minutes. We're making progress out here. Getting it done. Second round is turning out nice with the glazing putty in there. There's still a couple spots that I want to kind of touch up. Maybe tap down some of these high spots here. I normally just freestyle the sandpaper, but this time I'm using a block to kind of keep it flat. Hopefully we get a better end result when it's all said and done. But I'm going to go on ahead and add some more glazing putty to the low spots and continue to sand it down with 180. And then if I'm happy with that, I'll hit it with some etching primer on the bare metal areas. And you guys know the drill. I'm gonna hit it with some high build sandable filler primer after that. It'll all kind of look like the roof. That's how you know you're getting closer to the end. Bring it up a little bit. Even right here, I'm gonna just go to town a little bit right there. For lack of a better word, you know, I'm getting a little anal right here. Certain little thingies. Oh crap, I think I screwed it up again. Well, try again, let her dry, give her a sand, see what she looks like. Maybe I should have reconsidered my scraper. It got like little burrs on it that kind of like make little gouges in it. So it's not as smooth as I would like. Another, 15 minutes or so. Sand her on down for 180, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. I'm feeling pretty confident here. It's feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling and feeling confidence, if you know what I'm saying. Everything should work out. All that hard work pays off. I just know it. It just has to. I just know it. It's coming. I know that feeling. It's coming. Just gonna have to wait a little longer. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Same with this spot up here. So yeah, this bodywork stuff is coming together. Couldn't be more happy about it. Swaggy, swaggy.